Evening all. Hope everyone's okay and looking forward to a great weekend. Okay, let's see. We'll go to the first challenge. Jay Russell. Hi Jay Russell. So I'm ready with, I think knight c6 if e4 or this. Tango in the first game. Or not. Not now. d6. And I'll fianchetto, I think. Okay. So this looks like a King's Indian style position. I'll try and... That's a bit dumb actually. I was thinking I was going to stop e4, but of course he's already got the knight there. This is not... I should wake up a bit. This is not the variation I was thinking of. Okay, I'm just going to finish this coffee. That pawn's hanging. That's a good spot, at least. From the disconnection of the d4 pawn from the queen. Okay, I can take here. Weaken that diagonal. That diagonal's already weakened. I'll lock in that bishop. And maybe... Okay, let's drop this back. Maybe here or here. Okay. I hope the audio levels. Okay, I'm just going to check. Should really have checked everything. It's 100. Alright. So King H7 and F5 maybe. 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 So yes, I'm undoubling the pawns, but I'm hoping to exchange, well, fixing the pawn structure with maybe some more exploitable weaknesses. Sometimes that's an idea to kind of swap one sort of weakness for another. On the other hand, now I'm not entirely sure. There's Queen H5. If I'm not careful, I better parry that. That's a kind of threat, actually. Queen H5. And if I play E4, that does lock in that bishop, but it swaps off my defensive bishop, which I'm not sure is that desirable. The upside, though, is I get Knight E5 in after, which might mean Knight F3 later at some point. It might be worth allowing that to be swapped off. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm hitting that bishop on b2. Hi Jordan on stream. Okay, and others watching. Okay, so let's see. There's pressure on f5. Okay, I can play Queen e5 here. I don't want to lose the b7 pawn necessarily. So if I played Knight e5, you know, Queen b7. So maybe this is better. Although I know I did say about using the knight there, but sometimes it's good to change plan. Okay, and I'll put the knight now there. So I'm hoping this is an okayish position. That bishop's still kind of blocked in. So let's see what can I do in this sort of position. My rook on a8 hasn't been doing much. These guys are tied down, so maybe a5 and just see if a4 is played. Maybe a4. I can't do b5 because the bishop's responsible there. Ah, okay. Let's stop g4. Or not. G4 is not really a threat, actually. So my knight's covering it. So why don't I just open this a file? Okay, I'm going to open the a file now. Now that is a hanging pawn. Or is it? Takes. There's knight f3, an interruption tactic, which would win the exchange. So I'll wait for that to happen, I believe. This might be an interruption tactic. You know, knight takes, bishop takes. We're about to see it. I can play knight f3 check. This interruption tactic, I'm hoping wins me the exchange with rook takes f5. so interrupting that F file. The king's not on a light square, so I think I can get away with it on this occasion.
Check.
Now c2 is protected, so let's try and hit the bishop. My rook is on a light square. One thing to be wary of when the opponent's only got one bishop of a certain colour, tactically in Blitz, as a sort of prophylaxis I guess you could say, is make sure you play on dark squares away from the bishop. It's like driving on the other side of the road. It's less likely to have a tactical accident if you can keep on the dark squares here. So I want to just keep on these dark squares, but he has got a 2-to-1 pawn majority, so it's far from over this game yet, and he's solid here at the moment. In fact, it looks a little bit fortressy, so I want to keep my pawns also on dark squares. But is he going to have a perfect fortress the way I'm playing it? Yes. Yes, I'm slightly concerned here about the fortress implication of this position.
Check.
If I can invade with my king somewhere, that would help. If I commit to c5, I'll never get b5 and c5 for c4. That could damage the structure. What if I go for this plan? b5, c5, so I'm protecting the c4, take, and then king e4 after. Would that actually do me any favours? This pawn's slightly vulnerable here. Let's see. I'm not sure it even does me any favours, that. Actually, let's keep that plan in reserve and try and win his g-pawn. I'm going to try and win this g-pawn because it seems as though that might be a bit too much. This is a mate. g6 is rook h1 is mate. Awkwardly, because that's an escape square taken by the pawn. So rook h1 is mate there, and I'm threatening rook h1 anyway, or rook g1 if king g6. I think he might have overextended this pawn from an otherwise almost fortressy position. Now, if I can keep the king from not supporting e5 for a moment. That's the next little thing. Can I take here? Is that a winning ending? d6, king e3, or c5. Yes. Okay, let's think. Yes, it's good to have time to think sometimes. King's a bit too adventurous for my liking.
Check.
I'm wondering if I can play rook takes e4. No. I think for a moment I want to just see what happens if I defend b7 without losing on time.
Check.
Hopefully. Keep it on dark square here or not. Alright, he's got repetition there. It's 34 seconds. Okay, I better start pre-moving soon. Mind you, e5 is also... Oh, I needed that. I thought e5 was dangerous, but I got to start to think about pre-move mode now. This isn't easy. Pre-moving a little bit. 25 seconds. Can I support this pawn? Alright, this position I'm threatening mate.
Checkmate.
Oh, it was 20 seconds to go, so that wasn't an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Thanks, J. Russell. Great game. Any more challenges? Otherwise, I'll go on the 3-minute auto pairing. Okay. So maybe try luck on the 3 minutes auto pairing. Okay. This is an IM on the 3 minute auto pairing. So this is a fianchetto system where I'm hoping I get a small edge. With maybe F5. F5 looks kind of dangerous in this particular position. Let's see, F5, D4. The knight could reroute, I think. Well, it's going to anyway. Maybe to F3. He might not be. He doesn't appear to be the quickest 3 minute player I've experienced on the 3 minute auto pairing. Not yet. Maybe he's going to speed up later or around about now. He's going to try and get a Queen H4 in. Maybe later. Alright, can I play to shut down the bishop and maybe knight E4? Or would he take and then D3 check? Okay, I'll try and open up the queen side. Okay, is A5 worth it? I think I should, in theory, try and open up things there. This looks vulnerable. You can take here. Queen F3. I don't think there's any problem with Queen C6. Queen F3. There's no Rook H2. My king and Rook are defending F3 there. So I think he's got an issue, slight issue with F7. He hasn't done something about that. I'm hoping this is okay. So I guess his idea is E2 and a very, very big, discovered a check. So if I play D4 here instead, E2, Queen E2, Rook D4, maybe Queen F2, or here's C3 just to let's see, we're taking on A4. Okay, interesting. Right, very tactical position. I think I want a stable center. I'm hoping he's weakened A8 a bit now. If he takes on B2, Queen F3 with the idea maybe of Rook A8. I've stabilized the center for a moment, but the downside here is Knight D3. The upside is I've got Rook A8 and maybe Knight D6. Also maybe just, okay, what about just Knight E4 holding C3 with the idea that maybe Knight D6 is more dangerous. Okay, now if I took here, I think I'm better here because, yeah, I can play Knight, almost Knight D6. No, I can play Knight D6 or Knight takes D8. Then maybe Queen F3 with the idea of Knight D6 to win another exchange, but I don't want to give him two connected running past pawns. That dynamic potential, I think, should be addressed instead. If I threaten Rook A4 here instead, I do not want to give my opponent too much dynamic potential here. This looks dangerous enough with the threat of Rook takes A4. It looks like a good outcome so far. Yeah, I think the bishop's hemmed in. He's resigned. Oh, and we got a load of challenges. We got 4 challenges. Okay, good start so far in this Friday night session. So I'm hoping the dose of caffeine has helped. We'll see how long it lasts. Now we've had this before against Desmetanov. So And I've played before for a light square strategy, so it's like a reverse king's gambit position, where I've got an extra tempo, of course, which I can use to maximize my light square play, which I'll try and do. So maybe g5 is possible here. Doesn't look too dangerous. I could be mistaken. I'm thinking h3. Now this is like king's gambit in reverse. And in reverse, the bishop c5, I usually play d4. Is that possible here? Ed, knight e4, and then I'll be on the bishop with the knight. And if bishop d4, I protected g5. So I expect knight takes f2. I'm going to play d4 here. This reminds me of a situation in reverse.
Check.
And in fact, I'm thinking with knight e4, I can... So I'm protecting that tactically, that g5. I'm thinking ed knight e4 is possible in this position. On bishop takes, I'm thinking king g2, and my king is a little bit safer. Of course, the f file could be dangerous, but if he moves the rook, queen takes h5. If he castles, I'm considering f6. I remember some romantic era games I've analysed on the King's Crusher chat. I covered that with d4. Yeah, that was covered with that d4 move. That was one of the major points of d4. Just thinking in reverse of like reverse King's Gambit lines, that was covering. Okay, thanks for the game. Bishop mate. Okay, bishop mate. Hi there. Now, knight f3, I'm thinking to play d6 on knight f3 because I think it's a little bit more flexible than d5. In a way, it's kind of more King's Indian style than d5. If you commit to d5, you're committing to some dark squares being locked down. Here it's more fluid. It looks like white has weakened more light squares than usual with this e3. I don't mind necessarily the queen exchange, but bishop a3 could be more of a test here. Perhaps I take the queen there in that case. Okay, or here bishop g4. I'm wondering if h3 and white grabs the bishop here though. Oh, that's interesting. So queen e7 goes right into bishop a3 though. Rook e8, I seem to be on the back foot there. So all in all, this is unpleasant. Let's try knight d7. This is a little bit of an inconvenience, this position. I might be threatening... Oh, okay. Now, can I do this? I've got an idea. I want to play queen e7 without bishop a3 winning. Totally. So I can play knight c5 here, and possibly bishop a6. But here, I like the idea of bishop a6 with this pawn there. That also gives more of a grip on the dark squares. Okay, he has played that way. So I'm wondering if it's kind of symmetrical pawn structure here. Ah, that's interesting. That's giving up a pawn there. That was a blunder. I'm sure of it. That was covered by the knight. Bishop b2, knight takes a4. Yeah, this looks, or rook takes a4. Knight a4, has it down, major downside? I'm wondering, it is self-pin. Maybe to avoid the self-pin in principle. This is safer in Blitz to avoid self-pins from painful, bitter experiences. If you avoid the self-pins, even in theory, I've also noticed from the high-level Magnus Carlsen Blitz that sometimes, you know, the near tactical liabilities become tactical liabilities when Magnus Carlsen's sniffing and maximizing them. So don't want any sniff of a tactical liability like a self-pin, ideally, because it could, under the right configuration, it turn into a disaster. So that's why I didn't really want that self-pin. Okay, so this seems safe enough for the moment. Let's see. can I get, if I get that pawn, that's undoubling my pawns. That bishop, actually that's another pawn, isn't it? Because the knight's protecting it. That's another pawn. I'm usually the one pawnyless in my own blitz games a lot of the time. But it seems my opponent is draining his pawns out. I'm threatening bishop d3. If queen a2, bishop c4 is a nasty pin. Bishop d3 seems to be the principal threat here. He has to struggle to hold that knight now on queen d1 c2. Okay, thanks for the game, bishop mate Kronos. Let's stick with this reverse French defense. I don't know if you guys have seen from the King's Crusher channel in the last few days, I had a nice game against Yardbird, who usually, I don't want to spoil the result, he usually beats me. Find out on if you want. I had a fun game with the reverse French defense against Eric Lobron, who's a major enthusiast on the ICC autoplaying. But so I've had a lot of fun recently with I don't know if it's a sort of I don't know if I'm attracted to sort of, I don't know, reverse systems, but you could argue that c4 is a reverse Sicilian as well. But the Sicilian, of course, is more aggressive than a French defense. But it's interesting to play these things in reverse. Okay, so a3, I think somehow I think that's a useful move. I'm probably wrong here actually, because usually if the knight was on c6, then knight b4 would be more of an issue. The knight on d7, that's not such an issue. He has kind of released the tension here, which means I've got a freer hand on the king's side. By the way, my camera position seems to be a bit low. Should I just, I wonder if I can just change it a little bit higher. Sorry about the camera position, that's a bit low. So rook g3. Just to put some pressure on the king side, is he not tempted to this looks like a stonewall attack. Yes, Raster on stream, this looks like a stonewall attack, right? And I like the knight on e5, which often arises, it seems, from this reverse French. The downside, like with the Dutch stonewall, is you're always weakening a certain color complex, right, in a rather unfortunate way. It just depends how much the opponent can exploit these squares, especially in the context of a blitz game. A knight on e5 is a pain to me to play against. So if you think it's a pain to play against, you really want it on your side then sometimes. So I've got that big knight on e5. The pain of it is, if black ever takes, then the f file is dangerous. There was a chess book by Leonard Barden called Play Better Chess, which recommended the stonewall, or the stonewall attack it's called. When you flip sides, you can sometimes call the English opening a kind of Sicilian defense attack, or you can sort of reverse defense and attack. Some stonewall attack rather than stonewall defense is when you play a kind of stonewall with the white pieces. The dreaded problem bishop is often this: it's locked behind its own pawns. But you know, here I think a piece has been left for me. That's two pieces for the rook, but I can interpose knight takes d5. This might be a stronger move to interpose here, because it also provides me with knight c7 check with queen takes a8 as an option. So another key forcing move could actually net me that rook on a8 rather than just the recapture here, which looks pretty strong as well. But knight c7 check as a forcing move is probably worth checking out, just to grab another bit of material, as long as my king is not it's not backfiring on my king here. So I think that's a good candidate move as well. Knight c7 check, whatever happens. This is a loose piece here. In fact, technically this is a loose piece here. Knight c7 check's possible in this position,
Check.
I think. So I can try and, it's like a drag and drop tactic to play queen takes a8. Okay, I think I want to take that rook, maybe. Although I can also get the queens off here with queen takes a8, pinning the queen. So say king takes, I take here and I take there. I think I'll do this, pinning the queen just to get the queens off. I had a bullet game just recently where, unbelievably, I took a b7 pawn. I went back with queen g2, and there was a back row issue created just by taking a b7 pawn. The whole diagonal clearance was interesting. It provided queen a8 as a resource layer. Sometimes just by taking any pawn here, you're opening up that diagonal. So here, yeah, this looks like a nice position so far. I'll control this diagonal, I think, and maybe centralize the king away from rook g8. I will try and improve the position. I'll try and stop bishop b6 there. Let's try and have a swapsy. Yeah. Okay, I believe I can try and round up this h pawn, or not. Let's block these pawns, and I'm going to play this with the idea of bishop c5 without bishop b6 pinning. So I'm hoping I either am able to take this b4 pawn now, and there's an option of king g4. Okay. Now h2 is just a double pawn, so I'll say goodbye to it. Bye bye h2 pawn. I'll take on f6, then take on h4. Now my opponent's pawnyless nearly. Only one pawn to go.
Check.
Okay, I'm gonna take mean. I'm gonna be mean and take that last pawn. Okay, thanks, Kronos. Cap 78 red. Okay. Cap 78 need. Okay, let's see. Now this kind of position, again, the downside here of knight e5 would have been pronounced, I think, with c5. I'm not controlling d4 as much, but that's kind of been it's not been put on the plate here. So I'm just going to go for a direct attack because the central pressure hasn't yet been exerted. So the traditional way of parrying this sort of attack is not available yet. It's the central. My center is not feeling it at the moment. The enormous pressure, which maybe it should have been under. I can go for knight e4, bishop b4. Okay, this looks good for, I think, maybe even h6. Okay. If I let him take this off, actually, I'm thinking h6 and knight f6 would be winning the queen, because okay, it's probably optimistic. I sense I've been overly optimistic after queen d5. Queen d5 is possible, but h6 would have been winning the queen if bishop h8. But I think here, yep, it's a little bit optimistic. But I can entrench a knight here on d6 now, shielding d4. Yeah, I think queen d5 looked dangerous. I think my game has been overly optimistic up until this point. Yeah, that probably wasn't right, what I did. Okay. H6 might be interesting here, though, as a sort of form pawn in any case. and the bishop's not got that many squares. Perhaps I should castle queenside, and so king b1, rook c1, and just use the c file for the moment. Tactically, there might be a nice tactic with queen g6 at some point for h7, but then there's king g7, but it's something to bear in mind. I think actually I'm just going to go with this rook, the pigs on the 7th, as they're sometimes called here. This I can just snap off. I just want my pigs on the 7th, the rooks on the 7th, where they're usually eating a lot of stuff. But here I think it's more of a king safety issue with that pawn there. Yeah, I think this is already dangerous. This position, I think, if I just take here and play this check, I think this is dangerous. Because king e7, rook f7, king g8, rook c1, to threaten rook c8, is tying down the opponent. Mind you, rook f7 straight off the bat might just be as strong. I can imagine b5 for rook takes d6 there to try and win the rook. As soon as that happens, b5, I'll probably just play rook b7. Rook b7 would hit the pawn and threaten mate. Okay, I can do this or this. I can hit this pawn, I think. This is tied down now for black, but there is a running pawn here. I've just noticed. This isn't as tied down as I would have hoped for. Okay, so this is a running pawn, which undoubtedly he's going to use. Undoubtedly. Maybe I have time to go around like this. Maybe. But now rook f4, and it's not so much. It's not so easy. Can I do this to just maintain things? For a moment, I bring my king up, I think, to e3. If my king was in the game on e3, then that is the danger pawn here.
Check.
I'll try and maintain my b2. I'm still within takes. Still catch that pawn, right?
Check. Check.
Now he's got a running h pawn instead. I really need to start working on my own pawns, maybe in the center here. If I take this guy, there's a d pawn to work with. Let's move this bishop again. Alright, that gives me a tempo now with d6, so I think it was worth moving that bishop. Now d7 is winning a piece after for d8. So this is looking
Check.
good news. Good
Check.
news, Baz. Good news, Baz. Knight d4.
Check.
Knight f5. Then knight h4.
Check.
And then create a zugzwang. So blockading that pawn, trying to create a zugzwang, so I can start moving that pawn. Okay. I'm trying to avoid the stalemate. Okay, the h pawn can be moved. So I think it's queen b1 checkmate is the pre-move I could set. Okay, thanks for the game, Cap78 Red. Okay, so we could play another 3-minute auto pairing game. Okay. Now, first thing is, don't panic when playing a 2564 GM. They are beatable. On Blitz, there are weaknesses of the last move. You're playing in an entertaining way as well. With the Grob, I've played against Basman, the Grob, and managed to draw once in a long game. One Andrew Martin plan was to try and Can I take here? Queen G5, Rook H2. There's nothing crazy. What about Knight F5? Try and go for this. That already. I think he's got a sense of humour, this guy. So that's good news with this opening. Okay. But he's already feeling some pain, I believe. I suspect he's feeling some pain with H4. Did he really want to give up that knight to stop knight takes H4? And I've still got technically a forcing move, knight H4, Queen G5. There's Rook H2, which is sufficient at the moment, or is it? Bishop H3 could be calculated. Takes Queen G1, Rook takes Queen G2. It's interesting anyway. Bishop H3 for Queen G1. There's actually a really interesting continuation. Probably just got Queen F3. That's crazy stuff. Okay, so what about just, is F6 like a sane idea? I just want to say H4 is a weakness potentially. If I can break this open, you can use that as a pawn sack. Anytime he plays E4, he's opening up my bishop. Okay. Okay, he's refusing E4, refusing to give my bishop any scope. I'll put it on A7. So bishop D7 and F5, maybe for E4 for... I'll try and interrupt this diagonal. I don't want to lose H5 in a hurry. Can I do this? I'll still end up losing H5. Can I do FG? Maybe. Now knight G2 is not doing anything. I guess E4 isn't doing anything. Queen D7. That's interesting. Setting a trap for knight F3. I think he's been a good sport with the opening. Is it enough for me to try and do something here? Can I double it on this F file? This F file doesn't seem that secure. Hmm. I couldn't take that. I should have calculated that as well as knight F3 though. I didn't realise there's a potential like tactical liability there. Again, he can't take here because of knight F3. Now he can take there, and I've got that tactical liability I haven't sorted out. This one, King F5, Rook G5. I'm going to get mated probably. Let's have a look. Be amusing. Knight E4, King F5, Rook G5, King E4. I'm assuming I'm not getting immediately mated. I'm also down on the clock a bit. I assume G6 is not helpful.
Check.
There's rook takes though. Oh, I lose the exchange.
Check.
Oh, and the game, I assume. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Yes. Hang on.
Check. Check. Time warning.
That knight's kind of gone, isn't it? Yeah. My time's gone anyway. It's, yeah.
Check. Check.
Yes. All played. Parallax. Parallax. Next, a challenge. So not on the auto pairing, got a challenge for parallax. There was great resourcefulness from the GM. This rook a4 business. Okay, so this camera seems to be well down. I wonder if I can raise myself a bit to see the t-shirt a bit more. Okay. I'll play this provocative idea. If bishop moves, I take on d4. So I'm hoping to get this fishing pole set up, because I don't know, I'm addicted to fishing poles. It's something you can win quickly in sometimes in fun style, in a fun style. Okay, so queen h4 and knight e5, especially in Blitz. So knight e5, and then I'm looking forward for bishop takes h3. Sometimes, or I could actually just play rook h6 to g6 with the idea of knight e5. Yeah, with the idea of knight e5 and bishop h3, bishop takes h3. I think this is a very dangerous position for white, because although it seems sort of crude, my own king doesn't seem that unsafe at the moment. The g file looks ripe for rook g6, for knight e5 to threaten all sorts of things, like bishop takes h3. Without the defender knight on f3, you get a lot. There's a lot of attacking games like Nesmetov. I think one of Nesmetov, many probably, feature when the knight's not on f3. He's often whipping up attacks. Now here, yeah, I think this is just dangerous after knight e5. But I could play rook here first. I think knight e5. I'm immediately threatening probably bishop takes h3. So if takes knight f3. Also, I mean, rook g6 is worth checking out. Here, now I'm threatening bishop takes and queen takes. If king h2, that possibly holds things together, except bishop g4 now seems dangerous to me, threatening knight takes and queen takes. And if bishop takes, knight takes is check, forking king and queen. So the threat here is bishop takes f3. Funny enough, I was checking out Steinitz game earlier today, and I did a wiki checkup on William Steinitz, our first world chess champion, and yeah, he was actually nicknamed the Austrian Morphy. So I was checking out some of his attacking games, which I'm doing some videos on soon. but he had a transformation of style around 1872. So he had a number of years where he was playing like Morphy, though, in the normal romantic era style of chess, and then one tournament his play was different. He started demonstrating accumulation of advantages. He started playing different, more solid openings. So it's actually a great story, the Steinitz story, how someone just at a certain tournament starts playing in a totally different way to the other people in the romantic era. Can I play knight takes, g takes, queen takes?
Check.
Yeah, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop g2 is mates there, because of the bishop and knight are coordinating. So I think I can play this for the checkmate with bishop, knight, and rook helping each other. But yeah, I think this is
Checkmate.
checkmate. The bishop and knight are all conspiring there. Okay, let's have a 3-minute auto pairing. So yeah, it was a new awakening, really, looking at some of these early Steinitz games, because actually it's another Steinitz. It's not another Steinitz. It's another Morphy to study. So Besmol. Who's Besmol? Leonard Yudasin. That name rings a bell, actually. I'm wondering what era this player is. Is it a new GM or someone from the past that's been around? No, I'm playing E-take because I want to cut down on black's dynamic potential rather than C-takes. I remember seeing a game where there's less dynamic potential for black with this structure. Well, for a start, it's less imbalanced, the pawn structure, so probably more annoying if black wanted to generate loads and loads of counterplay. It's probably a little bit harder than usual, I would hope. In fact, can I try and tie down black's queenside and maybe switch the rook in here? Okay, maybe rook b6, try and tap into d6. Okay, so b4 and c5 might be interesting, but my knight's loose. Knight a4 takes c5. He's going to crash through with g4 though. Is a poxy looking move like bishop g4 worth it? Probably. There's bishop d3 probably winning at once. Oh, it's tricky because of g4, isn't it? Am I played this? So am I getting hacked to death here? Or will something backfire on d6? My rook's in a good position for d6, surely. For rook takes d6 here. It's with tempo.
Check.
Didn't see that one. Funny enough.
Check.
Can I play this in knight takes? Oh, he's got queen takes d6. Maybe there's queen f3 here. Okay. So d6 for knight d5. Oh, he's got bishop d4 now. Maybe there's d7 there and knight d5. d7. Okay, so knight d5 I guess doesn't do much. Okay, rook f1 then. I want to play for knight d5. So okay, I'm the exchange down. That knight's okay-ish, though, isn't it? Well, I hope it's okay-ish. 97 to try and win back an exchange. Pawn situation, I'm pawn down. Yeah. I can win c4. Let's avoid this check business. Okay. I'm just wondering, I want to play knight f4 in the check. I'm just heading into trouble here with that simple move. There's bishop d4, isn't there? That wasn't entirely clever. Okay, let's not lose on time either. Somehow I need a move. Maybe this is the best. No, it doesn't look very promising, I must admit. If that was the best. This pin looks a nightmare. Yeah, that pawn probably just h3. Yeah, looks like a nightmare position.
Check. Time warning.
Didn't I? No, it's gone. It's gone. He just checks. Too passive. I played that too passive.
Check.
Pre-moves?
Check. 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 Check.
I snagged a draw. It's a draw rule which kicks in. He's probably not the quickest on the 3-minute auto pairing, but he was killing me there. Let's have a quick look. Did I need to? I thought I shouldn't have played c5. That was just extremely dumb. The knight seemed to give. I'm just thinking this position where the knight almost seemed compensation. If we analyse this concretely, no, it's -3. For some reason, I thought I'll open up this diagonal, but the knight's not perched there. I think in practical terms, the easiest way to not add even more difficulty to play the position is to keep the knight on d5. Okay. Yeah, that was just a way of saying, please just beat me as easily as possible. That knight on d5 had to be kept there. Okay, so what's going on here? This challenge from Zuggy. This is a kind of London system with. He's committed to some light square weaknesses. If I keep this bishop blocked in on that diagonal and use this diagonal, but can I maybe provoke e5 just to close that center? Is that not happening? Is e5 not happening? Okay, it is happening. Okay, that bishop's a little bit stranded there. 97 to f5. This is fast and furious, this 3-minute stuff. fast and furious. I'm thinking that bishop could be a little bit of a liability if I took it and queen b8. Okay, he's giving me a blockade square. On the other hand, this diagonal could be weak. Yes, he's trying to tap into that. But I have my blockade square, so Nimzovich will be happy, I think, with that blockade. Happier, at least. Maybe not entirely happy. Happier with the blockade, but he's breaking down me my diagonal tactically. He's going for my diagonal. Let's just keep that intact for a moment as well. Possibly, okay. Yeah, can I? Okay, what is he threatening? I'm not sure what he's threatening actually. Okay. I can feel the pressure on the diagonal. On the other hand, tactically, there's a few things going on. Okay, let's have an exchange of queens then. Can I get this knight in somewhere? Maybe to e4.
Check.
Tactically, rook d6 has to be watched out for. This one gives me nice grip on light squares if he took. I'm threatening maybe knight takes d6 to get a pawn. If the bishop goes to a3, I'm wondering. Okay, I've got a grip on the light squares. I'll stop knight f4. Maybe stop king knight f5. Now stick that in there or not. Sounds a bit rude. Okay, let's do that. Okay, now let's do this to try and play bishop c8 to evict that horrible pesky knight. So that knight's going. I don't want that knight on f5. Go away, go away. Alright, don't go away. Bishop d7. Rook f4 looks tasty. I have to play bishop d7 if I want to play. Mind you, c4 looks tasty as well for white. Oh, there's so many things to consider here. Well, what's this about? I've just blundered the bishop. I made a note of that and then just promptly blundered it. That was clever. He's only got 20 seconds though. 20 seconds to finish me off. Could be a close call. Trying to undermine the centre. I think he hasn't got enough time. Time is of the essence.
Check.
Yes. No time. No time. But good game. Yeah, I made a note of that and I promptly forgot my note. Okay, 3-minute auto pairing. Chess coach for you. Okay. I'm going to weaken some light squares for fun. So let's see, is h5 an idea? e5, is that an idea? Or is that terrible? It might be terrible. How terrible? Okay, maybe a little bit terrible. Okay, let's go with that. Does he want to give his dark square bishop up? That's the torture London system bishop if he gives that up. No, he's not giving that up immediately. Okay, can I play this? Okay, he wants my poor little a7 pawn in the midst of a 3-minute game. He wants my a7 pawn? Really? Ah, okay. Take my a7 pawn. Okay. I'm going to regret it, aren't I? Okay, knight e4 maybe. What does that do exactly? What does knight e4 do exactly? Nothing. Probably nothing. That's the loose piece he's probably going to target. But what I want to do with it is play bishop c2 if I have queen g6 without going into my own skewer like I've just done, like a complete moron. Okay, but there's knight f3 on the cards. Was he worried about that? So he's letting me have my skewer, and funny enough he's not having his own skewer, which was just there. Maybe he was worried about knight f3 tactically with that g file. Maybe queen c2 is worth a punt. Or, let's see, how many tactical liabilities have I got? If I played here away from the light squares, I don't know. This, does it do anything? F5? Nope, don't want to create more ones. Knight d3 might be fun to get that dark square bishop. Knight c4. Try knight d3. I missed something about this. He's keen to give up his exchanges in this particular game for some reason. I can see why. These light squares are nearly fatal for me. If he's queen and work on the light squares, I think I'm losing the exchange anyway. So I'm just going to give the exchange back to try and relieve the situation. Can I play bishop d6? What is that one about? This is getting mysterious. Was that a mouse slip? Am I losing my marbles? Is this what is going on here? Bishop g7. He's going to go around my king now. Whatever he's done, I don't know, he has weakened my king, which is unfortunate. This d4 knight remains a pain. Oh, he's going for my king. Oh, this is going to be painful. Whoa, I should have just taken that knight off in retrospect. Why didn't I just take that knight off? Okay, let's not panic totally. 26 seconds. If I can get in queen d2, there might be some check.
Check.
Alright, how does he defend f2? I've got rook c2 to come. Knight g5 takes. Where is his next check from?
Check. Time. Check. 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 Check.
And the next check? Where's the next check from? No more checks? Okay, no more checks. Okay. the best form of defense is often just to gobble up all the opponent's attacking pieces so there's no attack. I know, you heard it here first. This amazing defensive tip: just gobble up all the attacking pieces. That's all you need to do, especially in Blitz. Just munch them all up so there's no attack. Yep. Or get your own counter attack. That's another thing. Just checkmate the opponent's king. Another one. Okay. So F5 and G5. Let's squish mode. F5 and G5. Little squishing. H4, H5, maybe. I think I remember a Nigel Short game or something. Someone did this. Maybe it was Short. Vaguely. There was a purpose to it. Maybe Bishop H3. Here, FG for Bishop E6. So that could be helpful for Bishop E6 for a shredding with Bishop E6. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have allowed A3. Okay, I've allowed A3. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not the end of the world because Rook B1. If he really wants to exchange off that guy, then that's one less defensive piece to worry about. So back to this idea of Bishop H3. So FG and Bishop E6. Okay. Can I nudge this knight out of here? Okay, there's a fight over that. Rook D2 for D4. Am I gonna, if I can nudge that knight, I achieve nothing? Probably because he's got knight C4. He hasn't got knight C4 here, but he just takes that pawn. Let's do this then. For the moment. Possibly D4 is threatened. Okay, now I should take this. Now maybe I need to simplify. Unfortunately, is there any other options? There's FG
Check.
to try and win a pawn back because he's just taken a pawn. Oh. Nope, let's hold E4. He's going to gobble all my pawns over here, I take it. And I got E5. At least he's fragmented some pawns. Knight F4, he's going to win another pawn. That's an important one not to lose, or if I don't take that one out. Knight B3. H6 is a nice form pawn, tactically dangerous if you can't win that immediately. He stopped that. I was looking forward to that form pawn. He's just ruined my form pawn even at inception. Okay.
Check.
No! 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 No. Can I get this pawn? Last chance.
Check.
Yes. Oh. I think he can do it. Somehow, I think he's going to make it. Mind you, he's messing around a bit. And he's going to make it, unfortunately. Oh, I have to give him that. Oh, if only I had that H6. That was horrible. Okay, Abatron. Dark square provocation. weakness provocation. Can I do this? Might be better than that structure because I'm thinking this f4 could be good. It's a little bit King's Indian style, like this, with maybe f5. Although he's got knight g5 here to win this guy. I just noticed. I'm wondering if I can allow that. It looks devastating to allow that. Yeah, I think I'd rather just play this horrible way instead. Where g4, I don't know, I might have to lose the exchange or something. Can I take knight g5 takes and bishop h6? Is that totally the end of the world or not? Maybe it's not totally. It hasn't gone for it anyway. Alright, let's take this out of the firing line then. b7. It's a b7 issue. There's two issues then. Maybe e4 for a moment. Knight g5, that's f4, no, he's on that. Queen h4 for f4. Try and protect this guy for f4, which is on d4. If his bishop moves, then d4 is protecting that. So I think f4 might be handy here. As in the only plan, f4. f4. Somehow this looks, I might be deluding myself, it looks okay, even I might even say promising, this f4 at the moment. E3 and f3 just to try and wreck the opponent's kingside as much as possible. I'm threatening queen takes f2 there. I want to cause wreckage with taking.
Check.
And f3.
Check.
I take with the king or the knight. Maybe the I don't know. I'll try the king. Hope for the best. I can cover e6. You can't do that. Take, win the rook. His queen has to cover f2. f3 the exchange sack. Okay. Has he covered everything now with that move? Knight f3. There's knight g3. Now here, that pin.
Check.
He's got that. I can take on f2 first. Does that help my cause? Maybe. I don't know. That's not. I think it's pre-move mode anyway. Whatever happens.
Check. Check. Check.
queen d6 would have been for queen g3. Come on, think. Oh, I missed that shot. Queen h2.
Time warning. Check. 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 Check.
I've hurt my finger on the okay, I've hurt my right finger actually. I don't know what I did. I've had cramp in they say chess isn't a sport. I've hurt my finger doing that. I've had a finger injury. You know, this could be bad for my pre-move. My next pre-move session, you know, might not be as quick. I've hurt my right finger. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. So 3-minute auto pairing Duca. So this is why FIDE want chess as an Olympic sport, because clearly it's physical, especially Blitz chess online. Anyway, so why have I got worse position already? Why? What have I done? What have I done? I seem to have a worse position. What evil thing have I done to deserve this? Okay. Is it as bad as I'm imagining, or it's less bad now? I'm thinking knight b3, bishop g5, or in fact, why not bishop a3 and knight b3? In both cases, I'm strengthening my dark square play. Bishop a3 across that diagonal, knight b3 strengthens c5 and d4. Not quite over protection of e5, but d4 is it is a central point. But okay, in fact, what about this as a plan? Knight f1, knight e3, knight g4. That seems more thematic. This way is Fischer-style King's Engine attack. But he's destroying that plan if he doesn't let me play knight g4, which he has, which gives me bishop g5, which gives me knight f6. I'm starting to crawl over the dark squares here. Bishop g5, knight f6. The Fischer plan in many games is h4, h5, knight h2, knight g4, bishop g5. In many early Fischer games, he was using this kind of King's Engine style attack with great effect. So let's see, can I play knight f6 without losing my queen? Ideally, so queen f4, knight f6, queen h4 is
check,
very crushing usually if I can have this position. I know I'm losing the exchange there, but it's only losing a battle, not the war, I would say. Okay, that's a little bit more careless to lose another exchange, but nevertheless, it's another battle, not the war. Here is the war to be won, I think, with knight takes or not, or g4. g4 might be better. Knight takes, threatening mate. You can even take with check, bishop f1, check after. So probably not a good idea just yet to play g4. Rook d1 might give me a bit more time. I'm hoping it gives me a bit more time for g4. Center hasn't collapsed yet. If I get g4 in, that seems to be okay. This one to get a bit more time. Can I get g4 in or not? Maybe I should have gone there on my first decision. I just need a tempo or two for g4. He's going to run out of time at this. Is he thinking g4 is dangerous? Is that why he's thinking? Yeah, I think it is pretty dangerous. Okay, cool. Alright, let's have another 3-minute auto pairing. I think this is mega dangerous at this point. It's mate in 3, whatever he does. The engine move is this. If here I'm just peeling him open. Yeah. Oh, Tryfon was very dangerous last week. I had a bad French defense experience, so I'm going to change the pawn structure. This is something I've picked up from Yardbird. On the rematch recently, he changed the pawn structure away from any bad memories. So I'm not wanting a French defense pawn structure like last week against Tryfon. I'm changing it to this, whatever it is. I don't know what this is. This is some sort of... There's a... Uh-huh. Can I get my pawn back? Oh, just drop this pawn over there like an idiot. Why didn't I play h6? What was I thinking? Oh, why didn't I just play h6? Maybe this has got a point to it. I don't know. Okay, that's not expected. And what's wrong with b6 here? He's pretty solid, isn't he? Queen b7 then. I'm wondering, okay, f7 could be a liability. Let's blunt this bishop. Yeah, rook c2. Why is he allowing rook c2 out of interest? Knight f4 looks Okay, he's trying to win material in some evil way. Okay, get that out of the firing line. But he's just given me the C file on a plate. Okay, weird stuff is going on now. Let's ignore that for a moment. I want bishop g2. Let's see if queen f7. I might have bishop d4 later. Knight f7. Well, there's rook g2. If he took my queen, rook g3. Rook g5. Rook g5 anyway. Let's have a quick look at this. h4. What about rook c2 to threaten rook g5 with mate? To stop his king going to h2. There's queen e8 there. He's got an eye on e8. Rook b2 to win his queen. Rook b2, take on f7, and his queen's hanging after. It's easy to take on b2. Well, there's takes and takes here. Knight f. There's no knight f4 check. I've got rook c2 though there, and then knight f4. Yeah, what about
Check.
like this? Get this one involved.
Check.
For queen f7 and knight f4.
Checkmate.
I got to live up to my name, King's Crusher. Yeah, I enjoyed that one anyway. Okay, yeah, okay. No grovelling in the French defence pawn structure from last week. I don't know if you remember. Nope, none of that. I've taken a completely different scenario, pawn structure wise. This system with this gambit. There was a game, Conquest against Bronstein, when he came to Lloydsbat Masters. Temporary pawn sacrifice. Bronstein got a good attack, even if it's with knight g4 later. So one of the ideas is destabilizing the kingside when you do this temporary pawn sack in the Caracan here, I believe. That I've seen anyway from Bronstein. This temporary pawn sack, there's a game Conquest against Bronstein. Similar to this, Conquest is playing very logical moves to support the d5 pawn, but you see that, yeah, the dart squares have been slightly compromised. If there's no knight on f3, the dart squares are slightly compromised. Especially here, they've been a bit more compromised. This g5, I think he should have just taken on g5. That was a blunder. He could have just taken on g5. Yeah, bishop takes e4 is probably a good move. I don't want to give him any dynamic play whatsoever, basically. So you've got to make that decision in chess. Do you give your opponent any dynamics or not? HG, does it give him any dynamic play? It might do, actually. But this way, I'm opening up, I'm shredding his king, basically. That's a good thing in Blitz. Just shred the opponent's king, if given the chance. Okay, so let's see. Okay, d5, queen d2. This looks like a stable sort of position to start from, i.e. I haven't created 6 million weaknesses just yet. There might be the prospect of building up with rook d1 and c5. Let's make sure he's compromising his light squares a bit more if he's going to play this caveman stuff against me. Okay, here we go. c5. Okay, knight d4, going for knight e6. Knight c3 though, knight e6. He's got bishop takes c3. Yeah, knight takes d5 looks plausible. Maybe bishop a1. Bishop a1 there, knight d5, bishop a1. It's unfortunate, but yeah. Okay, hasn't gone for that. I'll take it here. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's have e3 for bishop d3 then. Okay, I'm going to take those light squares with this exchange sack. Bishop c4. That looks like a nasty pin. It's a sort of style Petrosian had sometimes against Spassky. Spassky had to, I think, fundamentally change his attacks. If he created too many weaknesses, Petrosian could just, on occasion, just sack the exchange and hijack the diagonals and stuff. Now here, let's see. Is there a tactical solution? My knight's not hanging at the moment, so queen b2 threatens mate. I'm just thinking rook e5 just interrupts the d5 pin protection, trying to undermine this pin. Mind you, it's not a pin if he moves the knight, because you can move the knight now. But then, I don't know, rook d7 looks dangerous. More than dangerous. It looks fatal, rook d7. There is knight c7. And I can play for knight f6.
Check. 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 Check.
Okay, I think the worst is over. Let's hold that, just in case. Okay, maybe. I don't really want to have to play knight and bishop mate. I have studied it recently. It's easy with the two bishops to try and checkmate. I think a lot easier. So we've got a two bishop scenario. That's fun, isn't it? I have to corner the king. I did study knight and bishop. It's a good exercise in coordination. If you study
Time warning.
these little end games, it's an exercise in piece coordination. That's the beautiful thing about them. Piece coordination. Let's try and avoid a stalemate.
Check.
I
Check.
might have to try and win on time instead. I'm sorry, I've only got 4 seconds. But no, honest, I've been training up. I've been training up on knight bishop mate to do it within 30 seconds. I even tried to do it quicker the next time and quicker. I've been doing that just in the last few weeks. Yeah, because but I'm having trouble doing them in 5 seconds. I admit, yeah. But the beauty of them is it's about piece coordination to make the king. The knight and bishop is a wonderful. The triangle method is the easiest. The free triangle method. I'd recommend the triangle method. It's on wiki. If you have knight and bishop against king, the 2 bishops should be much easier. I might need to brush up on that as well. Okay. But ideally, I should have just hacked his king to death earlier to avoid all these technical issues. Yeah. Note to self: avoid endgames. Okay. I enjoy here this semi-open E file. Whilst in theory there's a minority attack, it looks miles away. He's giving up a pawn here. There's no tactic with bishop h2 and queen h4 because the knight's in the way. I think that's a free pawn. I could shield h2. It is a soft spot. Maybe with g3 is adequate because I've got a light square bishop to cover my light square weaknesses. Let's blunt this bishop and stop queen h4. The opposite colour bishops might be an issue, but in the middle game they sometimes favour the attacker. So I'm looking forward to some light square torture now. With bishop b1, queen d3. If g6, rook e6. If takes, queen g6, whatever. Oh, hang on. There's a cheapo here. Bishop f4, isn't there? That's really naughty. That's really naughty. Let's unpin the g pawn. Its power is illusionary. Nimzovich. The power of the pinned pawn or piece is illusionary. That was very naughty of my opponent. So bishop b1, queen d3. Back to the light square torture plan. Bishop b1, queen d3. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. F4 then. I have to pay attention to what he's doing apparently. Okay, so bishop f3, queen e2. Okay, I need to somehow exploit this configuration he's got here. Does he install a form pawn? If he plays HG, I'm going to use that H file. He doesn't need to move that pawn actually. Why is this so much trickier all of a sudden? His queen's even defending the king and key squares. That's pushing things surely too much. There's got to be some backfire here. Too many weaknesses. Come on, invest a minute here. Downsides, assassin mode. Downsides, light squares. takes rook e4, hg, h3, threatening rook g4. How about that for a start? I might lose my queen doing that. If I do this for a moment, I shouldn't really lose too much time in this position. I'm just thinking king h8 and rook g8 now, and it's not as easy as all that, is it really? King h8, king h1, maybe queen f2. Well, what's this? Okay, king h8 I think was fine. That's a nice engine. It's only fractional advantage for white. Actually, you can't see this engine thing, can you? Let me just add that as a thing. Just let me save my presentation thing here. With engine val position. Yeah, you see that? It's this position I didn't think was anything for me. Okay. Okay, let's have another game then. Let's stop that analysis thing. 3-minute auto pairing. Oh, that's a bit of an eyesore there though, isn't it? Make that smaller or something. That's an issue, isn't it? I don't know. Okay. Where to put the engine val? Okay. Maybe I should be playing around with that later. Okay, I'll play around with that later. I think I've got Stockfish installed. So knight f6. Oh, let's remove that. Okay, if I can. Nope. Well done. Just got rid of the wood. Okay. Okay. I'm a moron. I should be back. I should have reinstated that. Way to lose time in the 3-minute game. I'm hoping to put some frontal pressure on d4 here. I've had this before, this position, believe it or not. Well, I believe I've had this position before. Whether it was the exact position or not is another story. Is my sorry, my head seems to be up there. I'm putting it down, I hope. Okay. First thing. This doesn't look clever at all, does it? It doesn't look clever at all. I'm going to have to do something radical at this rate. Can I try and get my brain back into this game? I seem to have detached myself from this game. Okay. Oh, it might be too late. I don't know. It possibly is too late. Getting munched. He's winning the exchange and stuff. Yes, I've had better opening positions. Oh, crikey.
Check.
Too late. I woke up too late for this game. Bishop F4 is killing. That was really... wasn't in that game, I'm afraid. From the start. That's what happens if you're fiddling around. Need all the mental resources on the game position. It's now too low. Yeah, okay. Can I afford that bit of fiddling? Let's go here. And so King G7 and well, this is an interesting position. Okay, F5. Playing a little bit slowly, isn't he, for a 3-minute game? Can't take on B2. A2? Super greedy? I don't see the harm in it. Maybe it's because I'm an idiot. But it's possible it might not be completely losing in this particular instance. I mean, anything's possible sometimes. I mean, one would hope. I'm threatening bishop takes e4 here for queen takes b1. Sometimes when you snatch pawns, it creates a desperation on the opponent's part to regain material, which creates in turn tactical liabilities. I've noticed that from Blitz games of Magnus Carlsen a little bit, that he might sometimes create a desperation to regain a pawn. Now here it's 2 pawns. Knight g5, queen d5. The back row is almost weak. There's a trap knight f6 on rook e8, I get that. But even there, you know, king f7. Oh, there's rook c7. I guess that trap is valid. So what about just queen d5? This is try and get rid of the queens and take the e file. C2 is hanging. As long as there's no two pigs on the 7th here. This one, there's bishop e4. There's this knight f6 business is dangerous. But even with knight f6, king f7 is okay. Alright, so d4, d3. No, knight f6 is too dangerous there. Bishop e4 might be playable. d4, knight d5. I don't need that hassle. Do I? In fact, bishop f3 might be threatened. That's a good position for the bishop. This looks okay. As rook and pawn endings go. I've had worse against GMs. Yeah. The time situation is pretty good.
Check.
Yeah, the time situation was pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know what my opponent was thinking. Mind you, I can say the same about myself in the previous game. Okay. I was greedy there, I must admit. I don't like being too greedy in Blitz. But as I say, sometimes it creates this desperation to regain material, or this, not maybe desperation is too strong a word, motivation to regain material, and sometimes that can create tactical liability. So actually by being greedy, you're kind of in a way encouraging tactical liabilities when the opponent tries to regain the material back. And actually there's many games in the Slav defense where black seems to snatch c4 greedily and white is trying to get the pawn back and black gets all sorts of stuff. Light square control, etc. Let's see, h5, h4, with this knight there and not here, this h-pawn attack is more tempting. To me, at least. It's still, I don't know, I'm a little crazy about this stuff. Okay. I really want my h4 an exchange sack if needed. It's like a sort of playing against dragon in reverse. Sicilian dragon in reverse. So I castle queenside. Okay, this one would help encourage HG surely. Because I'm threatening G takes without knight takes H4, which is a positional blockade on the dark squares. Okay, knight f6 is threatened. I can castle here surely. Mind you, there might be HG after, and this might not be entirely clever. Do I ever get to play h4 under reasonable conditions? HG h4 with the idea, oh, okay, I can play this now. So it's like a dragon in reverse. Yeah. I guess I need to move that bishop. This should do. G takes. There might be knight h4 there for knight h4, queen g5. So G takes, knight takes h4, trying to undermine this guy. Also threatens knight g2. I just want to open up that G file as well. So let's see. It's not played routinely, is it?
Check.
E4 looks good. It hits the rook on A1 here. If the rook goes there, that's better. E4 anyway looks good for rook d3. Yeah, E4 looks strong. Once the rook, I assume the rook's going to move. Is the rook going to move? What if the rook goes to E1? Does that stop E4? No, not necessarily. Because the rook on A1's hanging. Fascinating. Okay, what about knight d4 then? There's a fork.
Check.
That kind of weakness to the last move. That square was, or disaster of the last move. I haven't got time for another 5-minute game. There's only 4 minutes to go, so let's play a bullet auto pairing a couple of times. If we can. 1 minute auto pairing. Try and pre-move the whole thing, ideally. See if I can accumulate any seconds. Ideally without losing all my bits. That's the ideal anyway. Oh, I've just lost a bit. Control F1 here. D4, that could be handy to get. Right, it looks up a little bit now, the position.
Time warning.
Try and get a mating there.
Checkmate.
My king. Okay. maybe this is, can make this the last game, I think. So it's super quick. Bishop c6, more prudent. Nope. Rook d7. Is that an idea? Rook d6. That's queen f6. That could be handy.
Check.
Alright, this is looking fun now. Knight moves, rook takes d8. There's bishop b3 here. There's bishop b3. Knight g8 though. What about rook d7 to stop that? I want to pin the knight to f7. Alright, excellent. Okay, ending on a high tonight. Alright. Now that's a spicy meatball, he says. Okay, thanks for lives. Yeah. Okay, remember to like the video and all the Internet Chess Club videos. Help promote the IC. It's a fantastic site. I love the ICC. For many years I played daily on it. Well, I schedule my videos daily on the auto pairing. Fantastic site. Chessclub.com. I like Dasher myself. Not Dasher, Blitzin. But there's loads of interfaces, okay, to check out. Well, okay, so let's see. Let's end here. Let's see. Let's end here. So 1 fun, 10 boring if you want to vote on tonight's session. But we're stopping here. If you want to quickly vote, that'd be cool. Otherwise, see you next week. Have a great weekend. Cheers then.